Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my Sephora recommendations. The spring sale is almost upon us, and I want to share with you all the fragrances that I think would be great to get. A lot of them are fragrances that it's easiest to get them at Sephora. So I thought I'd give you my list, but before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and let's get into this. So as I said, the Sephora sale is just right around the corner. It's oftentimes good to figure out what you want to get ahead of time. So it's running from April 5th to the 15th. So depending on whether you're an insider, a VIB, or a Rouge will depend on when you can partake of the sale. And of course, your discount is between 10 and 20%, depending on what your beauty insider status is. But there's something to be had for everyone. And it is such a great time to get fragrances because fragrances rarely go on sale. So this is the time to do it for sure. I thought I would start with some of the fragrances that are exclusive to Sephora or they're easiest to get at Sephora, and then at the end I'll leave some ones that are kind of random ones that are designers that I think are fantastic. If I can get fragrances on sale, I want to do it. So the first brand that I want to start with is Commodity. Interestingly, with Commodity, before, like way back before I started fragrance content and I was just starting to explore fragrances, I fell in love with the Commodity line. So there was gold, I remember there was moss or something like that. I think there was a boozy one, and I was in love with so many of them. And so this guy was telling me, yeah, you can layer them up and do all sorts of things. So I loved the brand, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. And then a few years ago, they re-emerged. Now, I want to encourage you, I'll leave it linked down below, but you really should go check out the Commodity site because you can actually watch the whole entire process of this dude who loved Commodity, same as me. Like, so he loved Commodity, and then I don't know if it went under or was having financial difficulties, but he was able to purchase it. And then it was the whole process of relaunching a brand. So you can watch all the videos on the Commodity site. They go through the whole entire thing. Like, there's all these little videos that you can watch. So I highly recommend checking that out because I think it's so cool. And I love the concept of layering fragrance. So what I want to really highly recommend is their exploration kits. They're excellent. This one happens to be the best. Everything will be linked down below if I can find it. But essentially, they give you all 6 fragrances in all 6 strengths. So the way Commodity works, they have a personal, expressive, and a bold. So in the exploration kit, you get that. You get little sniff cards that you can spray the fragrance on. Plus you get a booklet, and it's really cool because you can write your notes in there about each fragrance. So I love the discovery kit, especially if you're just exploring. But what's cool about it, and they talk about this again on the Commodity website, is that you can make your own fragrance. This would work like a top note, a mid note, and a base note. So you can blend these any way that you want, and you can start with any top note you feel like doing and then mix a mid note and a base note. So really, even with this, you can create all sorts of different combinations, which to me is just so much fun. So you can get a blend of something that works for you. So I love this idea. And then of course you can go ahead and buy the full strengths in whatever mix you seem to love the most. So I love the expressive moss. In the milk, I love the expressive and the bold. And then I also really love gold. And gold, I love the expressive and the bold as well. So those are my favorites, moss, milk, and bold. So I just think it's really neat that you could actually create your own fragrance using the different strengths as top notes, mid notes, and base notes. And again, that's all on the website. So I just think that's super cool. Now, as far as fragrances that I recommend, I love Milk Expressive. So it's my favorite. I really love the bold as well, but Milk Expressive is absolutely gorgeous. I also really enjoy both the expressive and the bold versions of Gold. Gold is kind of a juniper, vanilla, sandalwood fragrance. So it's quite warm, it's quite cozy. Milk is a little bit more lactonic and woody. I love both of them and I find both of them very cozy. So really enjoy the gold in the milk. I also enjoy moss. Lately, I'm really gravitating towards green fragrances. Moss is a little bit more masculine leaning in my opinion, whereas the other two I would say are very unisex. I think it's just because I associate the green mossy feel with male centric fragrances. That said, I really enjoy wearing it. So mixing something like a moss with a gold would be just stellar. So really, really enjoy this, Brad. What about you? Have you tried Commodity? If so, what are your favorites? Leave them down below. It seems like everybody's favorite is the milk line, but I think there's a lot that's worth checking out. So I highly recommend the kit in particular. Moving on is Floral Street. Again, easy to come by at Sephora. Now, I love Ylang Ylang Espresso, but I think that's harder and harder to find on the Sephora site. I also really enjoy Black Lotus. That is not a normal fragrance for most people. They wouldn't enjoy it. Black Lotus is one actually that I would like to purchase. It's irisy, lipsticky, weird, dark, smells a little bit cigarette-y. Again, it smells kind of dirty and bad and I just live for it. But anyway, I have Ylang Ylang Espresso, so I don't really need Black Lotus, but Floral Street is such a gorgeous fragrance. This is one of the most fun, spring, jubilant, feminine, happy fragrances you can get. It's got guava and raspberry in it. I talk about this all the time. You really can't go wrong with this one, especially if you want something spring-like and flirty. It's just awesome. Another brand that's just excellent is ELLIS of Brooklyn. There's so many awesome options. And with all of these brands I'm recommending, another option is to use your discount on the Discovery sets like the Commodity one. Commodities is honestly my favorite kit. Like the way they've done their kit is gorgeous and it's a reasonable price for what you're getting for sure. But there's lots of brands that have little tester kits and to me they're totally worth getting because then you can try out all the fragrances and choose which ones you love the most. With ELLIS Brooklyn is of course B. I love B. I love the warmth of it. It's kind of a honey tobacco feel with some cereal in there. Like it's warm, it's cozy. I think there's a little bit of cinnamon in it and it just feels so warm and grounding and cozy, great for fall and winter. And then as far as a spring summer fragrance, I would choose Sunfruit. I don't have it, but I love it. So it's got this bright opening. There's pear, fig, and bergamot. There's a little bit of coconut in it. It's got some florals in it. It's kind of bright and fresh and juicy and fun. The only thing that I would say about that one is it doesn't last that long. I also actually really enjoy APRES as well, and that fragrance has got some juniper in it. There's some liquor in it, cardamom. It's a little bit warm, sultry, definitely a little bit heavier fragrance. But if you want something bright and juicy and fresh and fun, Sunfruit is great. If you want something cozy and warm and delicious, B is awesome. If you want something a little bit sultry, a little bit more seductive, APRES is amazing as well. Now from KAYALI, the one that I want to recommend for summer for sure is UTOPIA Vanilla Cocoa. I love that fragrance. It's really quite addictive. I only have a travel spray of it. I love the bottle. Like that bottle to me is so beautiful. And out of all the fragrances, I find that one to be extremely long lasting. There's a powdery quality to it, which I'm really digging these days. It's addictive. It smells like coconut icing sugar somehow to me. It's not too sweet. It works really well in the heat. I find it uber relaxing, but somehow kind of sexy. So I love that fragrance. Out of anything for spring and summer, that would be the one I would go to. Of course, Eden Juicy Apple is super fun as well for spring and summer, but my main pick would be UTOPIA Vanilla Cocoa. Yeah, love that one. Next one that I want to mention is Nest. Their fragrances are nice, and they've of course got that lychee rose, which is a new one that's out. Like I said not too long ago, really enjoy the opening, love the lychee rose. Kind of reminds me of Eden Lychee by KAYALI. Both of those fragrances go a little bit chemically smelling on me in the dry down. So I'm not a huge fan, but the opening of both of them is very bright and nice. But what I love from Nest are their perfume oils. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So they have a few of them. I want to just share the ones that are kind of my favorites. The first is Balanese Coconut. That is such a beautiful kind of relaxing coconut. It's not too much. It doesn't smell too thick and cloying, and it's a perfect base for any of those like coconut fragrances or sunscreen fragrances. The oil would be just a beautiful, beautiful addition. And the cool thing about when you layer an oil on your skin is that the fragrance is going to cling to it a bit. So in the summertime, sometimes those sunscreeny fragrances don't last very long. So using the coconut oil would be perfect for it. Now, lots of people like the Madagascar vanilla. I think it's a beautiful fragrance. I'm not huge on the vanilla base, so that wouldn't be one I'd get. The Turkish rose, it's a very beautiful Turkish rose, slightly powdery but lovely rose fragrance. The Indian jasmine, I'm not as keen on that one. Like straight up jasmine, not a huge fan, so I don't like that one. But the Seville orange, oh my goodness, that one is so absolutely gorgeous. So it's just nice, bright, juicy, sweet orange. So for a base for any fragrance in the summer, to me, that orange oil is just gorgeous. And then the other one that I haven't been a fan of, but I am now really starting to appreciate, is the South Pacific sandalwood. So again, that delicious sandalwood, which I find sometimes sandalwood, like sometimes sandalwood in fragrances smells a little bit pencil shaving-y. I find that this sandalwood smells a lot more authentic sandalwood. So it smells a little bit green, a little bit of a mineral-y feel that I'm really starting to love. I'm really finding that my taste is starting to shift and change. I think maybe a little bit more mature. So I am loving that. So really, really recommend the Nest oils. They're just beautiful. And if you want your fragrance to first of all, if you want to just smell good, that's a great way. The other thing that you can do with the oils is you can actually put them into your hair. Just imagine the wafts of beauty if you were walking through wherever you're going and your hair smells like Seville oranges and sandalwood. I have to get them all. Like, they're amazing. Now, Seven Virtues is another line I really like. I know that there's a lot of lines that are exclusive to Sephora that I at some point want to try, but none of them have really excited me except for Chris Collins, but that's only available in the States right now. So Canadian Sephora doesn't have Chris Collins. I hear Chris Collins is in the Sephoras in the States, and I definitely want to try lots of them because they've been so hyped up, especially Lust. I definitely want to try the Chris Collins fragrances. At some point, I hope to be able to. But Seven Virtues is a Canadian company. They're really big on clean fragrance and ethically sourced fragrances. So giving fair trade prices for oils. I love the fact that it's woman owned. I love the fact that it's Canadian. Now, as far as fragrances from Seven Virtues, I really enjoy the Blackberry Lily, but I don't actually think it's available anymore. So I know that Vanilla Woods is majorly loved by many. It's an excellent fragrance, and honestly, the price on them is really good. So that one is great. And then another one that for whatever reason, like I said, I'm really starting to dig the sandalwood because of the green tone in it. So another option would be Santal Vanille. Now, I haven't smelt that one in a while, but I really want to go check it out because I don't know why, but I'm craving actually that sandalwoody quality. So Santal Vanille is awesome. What about you? What is your favorite Seven Virtues fragrance? Leave it down below. I know lots of people love Cherry Ambition. I wasn't a huge fan, but it's a huge, like everybody seems to love that one. So, so many from Seven Virtues to check out. And then I have to mention KILLIAN. I love Black Phantom. Like, I love Black Phantom. I don't know if I would purchase it because it's super duper pricey, but I love that fragrance. But the one that I really highly recommend, you can't go wrong on it. To me, it's a pretty safe blind buy even, is KILLIAN Princess. Love that fragrance. It's so gorgeous. It's not so much that you couldn't wear it in the spring and the summer, but it's cozy. It works all year round. Cozy, kind of fun, a little bit peachy, a little bit gingery, a little bit of powdery matcha tea feel. It's just a gorgeous, fun, flirty / cozy fragrance that I absolutely love. Now there's a few kind of one-offs that I want to mention. One of them is Tom Ford's Soleil BLANC Shimmering Body Oil. Now, the reason why I suggest that one is because the price on it is really reasonable. So it's $40 for the 45 ml, and for the 100 ml or the larger size, it's $100. It's got that Soleil BLANC feel, plus it's got shimmeries. So on your skin in the summer, it's just gorgeous, but it's really great price. I highly suggest it if you're wanting that Soleil BLANC feel for a little bit of a better price. I personally think it would be cool to get that and then layer it with Eau de Soleil Blanc, or if you've got the Soleil Blanc, just use that. Moving on, if you're in the States, you can get Chanel fragrances from Sephora, so definitely recommend that because you get the deal. Out of all the Chanels, definitely love Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche. For the summer, it's got this green quality. It smells limey to me, but I think it's bergamot that's in it. It's fresh but sophisticated. Perfect kind of jeans and t-shirt or white shirt type fragrance. Super crisp smelling, yet still classy. Love it. I'm also really enamored by Marc Jacobs Daisy Wild, which it's a new fragrance, so getting it for a discount to me is worth it. I really enjoy that. There's a green quality. There's a banana flower in there. Smells a little bit green, smells a little bit, I don't know, yummy. Like I was really impressed with that one. If you haven't smelt it, you need to go sniff it. If you have, weigh in and tell me what you think of Daisy Wild. I was shocked. I'm not a Daisy fan. This is the first Daisy where I'm like, I am shocked. I'm shocked. I love it. So those are my major recommendations for fragrances from Sephora that I just think are fantastic. What about you? What are the fragrances that you're eyeballing? If you've got some, leave them down in the comments below. I would love to know. And yeah, the sale is just right around the corner. So happy shopping. Are you getting skincare? Are you getting cosmetics? Are you getting fragrances? I could go nuts during the sale, like seriously nuts. But anyway, I would love to know what you're planning on purchasing, if anything, or what you wish you could purchase. Leave it in the comments. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.